going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday, part 2. Hope everyone's doing awesome. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. I've got an update and then someone going to jail. Someone in jail and then someone going to jail. But yeah, update. You guys remember last week, the defendant who came into court was lying about drug use, lying about a lot of things. And Judge Simpson did not like it too much. Don't remember her name off the top of my hand. She's off the top of my head. She's yeah, anyways, let's just watch the video. You'll remember her. I promise you'll remember her. Before I hit that play button, you already know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe, do your jump kick back flips. Let's go.
Case people versus, well, not yet. See there? Julie Van Capon.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people.
Alex Warren Green on behalf of Ms. Bonkachan. Please state your name.
Julie Bonkachan.
Your Honor, this time we're asking the court to set the matter for a preliminary examination. If I may address bond.
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Bonkachan was last before the court a week ago. That time she was remanded for bond violations. I believe she had 2 missed tests and a positive test.
No, that and lying.
Of course, Your Honor,
Okay.
and that's
Okay, go ahead.
Ms. Bonkachan does wish to apologize to the court today for being dishonest at that time. She's assured me that she will continue testing, that she knows what she needs to do, that if her phone wasn't working or anything else like that, that's really not an excuse to miss testing. She's fully employed at the University of Michigan Hospital. Sorry, Your Honor. And cares for her 2 children. Right now, her 2 children are living with her sister. So we're just asking the court to consider reducing her bond. Right now, she's held without bond or a personal bond.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If her children are living with her sister, then I'm really concerned because I do have note that she called the victim 41 times. And my understanding was the only reason to
Excuse
contact
me?
the victim was to have contact with the children. So if the children are not with the victim, then I am concerned.
Okay, hold on. So the,
Starting off really well. You guys remember this defendant now? Yeah, I think Feaster was defending her last week when she got remanded to jail for failing drug test. I think it was drug test. She was saying, made a bunch of excuses. They had to take her to the side and let Feaster talk to her. Why do I think it was Feaster? It may have been this guy. I think it was this guy. I don't think it was Feaster at all. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. I think it was the same the defense attorney. Anyways, you guys, I think you remember her. She was everywhere. A lot of channels covered her. Yeah, she's still messing up in jail.
Daniel Gray, I have listed as the victim.
Correct.
Sounds true.
There is contact allowing for conversations about the children. That was my understanding of the bond conditions. So if the children are with her sister, I see no reason for her to have contact with the victim.
Well, the conditions that I have is that the only communication that would have been allowed with the victim regarding the children would have been by text.
There have been 41 phone calls.
Your Honor, that's the first I've heard of her making any phone calls from the jail. My understanding is that the children are living with Ms. Fong-Fichan's sister and that they do spend time with their dad, who's the complaining witness in this case as well. And prior to her incarceration, it sounds like she did have contact with her dad for purposes of raising the
With
children.
who?
With
Mr.
the
Grant.
children's dad, the complaining witness in this matter.
Right.
Yep.
That's 41 calls this week.
41 calls since she's been taken into custody. That's
Oh, dear God.
Some conversations, we never argued or anything, it was just straight about the kids.
Counsel,
Well, Your Honor, that's the first I've heard of it. I don't think
do
Ms.
you
Fong.
want to talk to her about it? Because, I mean, here's the problem. Problem is her bond conditions are that she could only communicate with that individual by text. I realize being in custody, that may not be able to happen. But then the only communication that can occur via text is it has to be regarding the children. Got 41 calls to this person. I have 41 calls to this person and then find out that the person that would be caring for the children is not this person, is not the victim. That's a problem. Just on the face of it, it's a problem.
I understand that, Your Honor, and I know Ms. Fong-Fichan's primary.
I hate to do
concern
this
is
to the
for
sheriff's
children.
department. Why don't, because theoretically, she may have been released. But this throws a whole new light on everything because she hasn't been doing any, I mean, she's just making her own rules, which is really part of the problem with how she got herself in, outside of lying to me. And now, and not following her bond conditions. And then now I've got another one, potential. So let me do this. The sheriff's office would be so kind. Take her back. You might want to talk to her because otherwise. Let me see. 41. I just don't like anybody that much. Court calls the case, people.
I had to keep in that last little clip. 41 calls. I don't even like anybody that much. All right. She comes back. This is, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes later. Oh, let's go.
Case people versus Dr. Trump.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso, behalf of people.
And Alex Warren Green on behalf of Ms. Fong-Fichan. State your name again.
Julie Bompachan.
Thank you. Your Honor, I had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Fong-Fichan. I addressed the phone calls with her. And, you know, Ms. Fong-Fichan doesn't deny calling the complaining witness in this matter. I don't know the subject matter of those calls, but what Ms. Fong-Fichan tells me is that that subject matter, when those calls are reviewed, is going to come back largely regarding the children, and that the discussions they were having were about the children. The children are staying with her sister while the complaining witness is working. That is filling the void left by Ms. Fong-Fichan being in custody. Before Ms. Fong-Fichan was in custody, the children would stay with her while the complaining witness worked, and when he wasn't working, would stay with him. So that arrangement is the same. It's just that Ms. Fong-Fichan's sister is taking care of the children while the complaining witness is at work. So again, I don't know the subject matter of those calls. What Ms. Fong-Fichan
Okay, so- And you don't know from the people, you don't know the subject matter of the calls.
Your Honor, when I saw 41 calls, I was under the impression that they would be related to the children, but that doesn't eliminate my concern
I know. I know.
And I'm also concerned that her representation is largely related to the children, which to me leaves room for an understanding that there's other things being discussed as well.
And Your Honor, what Ms. Bonfachan tells me is that none of their communications regard the case. None of them
Okay.
are communications regarding what the complaining witness should do or can do or may do. It's nothing to do with that.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. She's not allowed to have any contact with the complaining witness. Judge Simpson is going to tell us like it is.
I get that. But all that does is stop additional charges. Right?
Of course.
Or that goes to whether or not there would be additional charges coming from the prosecutor's office. They don't go to what is another violation of the court's order. I mean, just the call itself. I mean, I could even understand if there were a few calls regarding the kids because she can't text because of the position that I can get that. 41?
That's a large number of calls, Your Honor. I understand the question.
And here's my other problem. And this is the problem that people have when they come before me and they lie. You lie to me, then it's hard for me to believe anything that you're saying. And so if you're saying you're calling regarding the children, are there calls to her sister at least?
I have not checked. We don't have the sister's phone number because
Got
it's
it.
not in the police report.
Counsel, how soon can you get the phone calls to?
I'll send an email request right now.
Pardon?
I will send the email request right now. Usually they get released within a day.
Well, during the probable cause out 1 week. Or is that what we were doing on this? Yeah. I'll adjourn our probable cause out 1 week to the 14th. 9 a.m. Get the calls over. At this point, I'm not going to set it for exam. At this point, what I'm going to do is then let's do it this way.
All right, sorry about that. Internet just dipped. I'm going to rewind it about 10 seconds. Sorry about that. Let's go.
Let's do it this way. You wanted it set for exam, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to give you a probable cause date on the 14th to try to address her bond to see if we can get her out of custody without some other thing happening. I'll set her preliminary examination. I'll set that for the 26th, 2024, 9 a.m. That will be before me. Next week, though, we'll address her bond after you've had a chance to listen to the calls. And right now, she has no way to communicate about her kids at all because she was doing it by text before.
That's right, Your Honor.
And at least pending the hearing next week, her phone privileges, defendant's phone privileges in their entirety are revoked. Just keep making it worse. Continue. Thank you. that it for that block?
Mr. Ganacho and I briefly approached with.
Yeah, Judge Simpson did not want to stop her from talking to her kids. She's young. Her kids are probably young. I don't know what their ages are, but I'm assuming they're pretty young. I mean, she looks what? She doesn't look older than 25 to me. Anyways, yeah. All right, we're going back to Judge Simpson. This guy, let's just say this is in here for all the Buffalo fans. Buffalo in action. He's going to jail. All right, let's go.
Good afternoon again, Your Honor. Andrew Meyer. Monsieur McIntyre. Mr. McIntyre, Jody. Monsieur McIntyre.
Thank you. Okay.
One moment, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Your Honor, this is the time of need except for a probable cause. Probable cause conference. At this time, we're requesting the court set this for the next available preliminary exam.
Preliminary exam. Yes.
People would like to address bond.
Okay. Is discovery complete?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would the people have their witnesses available on the 19th?
I believe so.
Preliminary examination will be set in person March 19th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Perry. As to bond.
All right, you already know it's bad when the prosecutor brings up bond because the person's out of custody. Not going to go well for this guy.
Your Honor, at this time, people will be renewing their request for the $25,000 cash surety bond we originally requested. This wasn't addressed at arraignment, but we came to discover the defendant called the victim 16 times while in custody. Only 2 of those calls were before being arraigned. In the calls, he says things like, "You put me in jail for something I didn't do. You got me in here for assault, bro. Put money on my books. You can't
Mr.
do
Allen.
no crazy shit or I'm going down. You gonna bond me out, bitch. Look where you put me. What motel you gonna put me in?" He also has previous history of out-of-state convictions for drug possession and trafficking, as well as a felonious assault and a misdemeanor assault. And at the time of this case, he had a MDOP from January 7th, and Malleus from January 9th. And then got this case. All 3 of those cases are with the same victim, and there's a continued pattern of abuse, and it's been escalating to what this case is, physical violence. And at this point, we would be asking that he be remanded into custody and would be renewing our request for the original $25,000. In the event if he were to bond out, if it were to change, we would also ask that testing be put in place as a condition of his bond.
These phone calls came up after he was arraigned,
That's correct.
all but 2 of them.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Meyer.
Your Honor, I did speak with Mr. McIntyre. He is at the present time living in Ypsilanti with a work friend, and it is a stable residence that he can maintain going forward while these matters are pending. He's originally from Detroit. Unfortunately, Mr. McIntyre recently lost both of his jobs. He was working as a carpenter and also at a KFC restaurant here on Washington Avenue. He has his GED. He does have some mental health concerns, namely paranoid schizophrenia, and he is a CMH client who's receiving medication. Your Honor, he is here in court today, so I don't, sorry. Okay, thank you. He is here in court today. He's currently on tether, so I don't think there's any concern regarding flight. With regards to the contact with the victim and victim safety, I think he understands that that's inappropriate and won't do it moving forward. And
Well, but I've got a victim in the cases now. At least what's being said to me has been threatened.
And I haven't had the benefit of hearing those phone calls, so I have no way to independently assess those. But he is in court today. He's asking for his exam. I don't think.
I understand that, but I also understand that according to the people, I've got specific threats against the victim in these phone calls.
Yeah, he's going to jail. Did you guys get the hint? The not so subtle Mr. Allen? He knew. He knew. Judge Simpson just had to be leaning forward. We heard it this time. Usually we don't get to hear it, but yeah. When the buff lift is standing behind you, it's not going well for you. Anyways, I'm going to peace out. Let this video play out. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done it already, please like and subscribe. If you haven't done it already, please do your jump kick backflips. Tonight live at 8 o'clock, I've got a really good one. A pro se jury trial. It's an hour long, so I'm going to cover it all in the same episode. Oh, it's going to be good. Hope to see you guys there. Till next time. Bye.
Anything else?
Your Honor, if, I hate to put it this way, but if the victim had felt threatened, I would assume that she would have come forward to the police, and that hasn't done here. So there's really, other than these phone calls that I haven't heard, really no way to
She
verify.
would have come forward to the police.
Right. With, and asked for further charges. And I don't, as far as I know, that hasn't occurred.
Okay. You really think that's going to happen?
I don't know.
Yeah. Need to get the phone calls over to Mr. Meyer.
We're sending the request right now, Your Honor.
Given the allegations that have been made, at this point, I'm going to revoke the defendant's bond. Defendant's going to be remanded. I'll set a motion, hearing. I'll set a bond hearing
I'm sorry.
for March 14th, 2024 at 3 p.m. So I'll hear it tomorrow I'll hear it at that time and determine whether or not he can be released. You'll get the phone calls. You can go through those with him. And then he'll get his exam before Judge Perry. Thank you.